tell us about your creations here?
Lapiscalpo is a form of art I've created here in Barbados using natural Barbados stones. The stones of Barbados are special in some areas, not all the stones, but in certain locations where the stones have been naturally rubbed together for so many years, it gives it a smooth texture. My job, what I've created, is the ability to now put special pigment onto the stone, and as long as that pigment goes on there, it will never come off. The only way for that pigment to come off is to scratch it off. So the word lapis means Latin in stone, and scalpel, which means to scratch or to scrape. So it's a combination of scratching the imagery into the stone compared to what an artist would do is putting the paint on. I'm actually removing the paint. So I'm using a subtractive process creating the art that you see here.
Okay, so a brief synopsis as to how this happens. Can you tell us?
I used to write kid stories, and I'm looking for an illustrator, couldn't find one, so I started drawing on stones and painting on stones, thinking I can get better. It didn't happen. When I found these particular stones in certain areas, I realized that because of the denseness of the nature of these stones, it was able to hold this particular paint that was not going to come off. And I realized that if that's the case, then let me keep pushing it. So I started drawing pictures of Barbados, selling to tourists and things of that nature, the maps of Barbados, and that was fine. But then I realized that it makes sense that if I can just scratch, if I make a mistake, I can scratch the image and to fix it. Then I realized, okay, well, putting the ink on in the right amount and quantity, I can then create tones, I can create images, I can create depth within that particular stone.
So for persons who would want to have your work, who are not at Carifesta 13, how can they get it?
Well, my name is Dennis Sobers, and that is my email address, dennissobers@yahoo.com. That will always take you there. You can go and Google the same art, Lapiscalpo. I created the name Lapiscalpo. So anyone who typed that name onto any website or any Google or wherever, it will take you back to either the YouTube, take you to any of the sites, even Facebook, to where and what we're doing currently. You're welcome.